Talk to me with Adedoja Allen.
Remember, in the multitude of counsel, the real safety.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of Talk to Me with Adedoja Allen. I am the MD CEO of City 1051 FM. So today on the show, we will be discussing a matter that is very sensitive in marriage, one that often causes emotional stress, conflict, and tension among couples. Can also lead to infidelity or sometimes divorce. It is infertility in marriage. Let's start from the story of creation. In the book of Genesis, we find God's first commandment to us: be fruitful and multiply. This is in Genesis 1:28. It appears that God infused this commandment to procreate into the fiber of our beings. It seems to be written in our hearts, dreamed of in our minds, ached for in our bodies, and yearned for in our spirits. Thus, when a couple is unable to have children, it causes great pain emotionally, intellectually, physically, and spiritually. The feelings of emptiness and loss are overwhelming. The search for reasons and remedies become a relentless passion. Doctors, procedures, the time, the cost, and the hope and the hurt are constant companions on the lonely road walked by couples searching for the destination of parenthood. Contrary to the common notion by most tribes in the country, infertility is not caused by the woman alone. Infertility affects the male and female productive system with almost equal frequency. Infertility affects people from every racial, ethnic, religious, and socio-economic level. What then is infertility? To define it in the Nigerian belief, what do we call as infertility in Nigeria? It is defined as the inability to conceive within 1 year of trying, or not being able to carry a child to life. Infertility may occur in a couple's first attempt to bring a child into the world, or sometimes as secondary infertility when they have successfully given birth before but are not able to do so again. So women are able to get pregnant but have miscarriages. These are also said to be infertility. These women are also said to be infertile. However, keep in mind that there are many roads to resolving infertility, as there are infertile couples to travel them. The array of options and medical interventions for a couple facing fertility challenges can be confusing and hazardous. Each route brings many ethnical, moral, spiritual, emotional, and physical ramifications. Yet, while infertility can be a stressor on a marriage, it needs not to end the marriage. By approaching the process as a team, if you put God at the center and keeping things in perspective, you can keep your marriage healthy while coping with infertility. Each couple, they cope with infertility in their own unique way, but there are some principles that are important for all couples to keep in mind. So tonight on the show, I have two guests who will share their experiences with us. A man who has been married for 14 years, no child, still married to the same woman. A woman who has been married for 10 years, same story. So the big question tonight is infertility enough reason to leave your wife or your husband? Is it enough reason to cheat on or hurt your spouse? Let's go over to our first guest, the man. He will be sharing with us his experience in 14 years. how himself and his wife have coped with the challenge, the sensitive, the emotional topic in their marriage. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Okay, so did you listen to the introduction?
Yes, I did.
All right, so let's go straight into the show. There's a lot to talk about. Someone out there
Okay.
needs to be encouraged by your story. So the
All right, that's
first
fine.
question that I want to ask, I'm sure you probably might answer a number of my questions while you're talking about this. Is let's start from, did you or did your family put the blame on your wife?
No. Basically, I didn't give that a room for that. I didn't give any room for blame. There's no blame game here.
Okay, so yeah,
So
go on.
I heard you. I heard you earlier when you said, "Look, you need to approach it as a team."
Right.
So myself and my wife, we are the 18. I mean, family. I mean, first of all, let me start with this. Your family wasn't there when you guys started the courtship. It probably started in secrecy. You were seeing her, and then all of a sudden you're saying, "Oh, I see. I've seen this woman. I want to marry her." She says, "Oh, I've seen this man. I want to marry him." And then so that's how the family came in. So they are third party. I'm sorry, but both of you are the 18. So, I mean, we took that into our marriage. And, of course, no.
Oh, I think we've lost him there. We've lost the call. We are going to have to try to call him back. We'll try to call back. If you're listening to me, or well, I'm sure you are. Rather, we'll try to call you back almost immediately. It's I like the fact that you started by saying that you're a team. You started as a team, so it's nobody's business. And yeah, you dealt with it from the angle of both of you seeing yourselves and getting married to yourselves, and not the business of the family. So we're going to continue the conversation from there. My next question will be to you: how have you coped or handled it in the last 14 years? 4 years. Hello, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, we lost you there. Okay, so yes. Yeah. So I want to know how you've coped in the last 14. What has the last 14 years of waiting been?
Okay. That's, I mean, I want to sound as plain as possible to listeners out there. I mean, first things first, I know everybody will think, oh, you say, oh, he was God. Yes, it is God. But then again, it's holding on to a belief. God doesn't create anything for bad. He creates it for good. And 14 years looks like a long time, but to God, it's not. Now, it's going to sound again like, maybe, regular church going, Bible carrying. That's why he's talking like that. He doesn't have guys or couples out there. I'm a regular bubble. Let me make it clear. I'm a regular bubble, But the thing now is, did I marry the right woman? Yes. Do an analysis of yourself. You ask the question, what has kept me?
Hello, are you there? Hello? Oh, network issues. Okay, we're going to call you back again. We would call you back again right away. I like what you said. You said you're a bubble. They shouldn't think that it was easy. So it's not like nice one. So our guest there taking us through how it's been for the last 14 years of waiting on the Lord for a child in his marriage. Talking from the perspective or from the angle of the man. You know, the man is the one with the pressure from his family. The woman is just there, vulnerable, weak, in a lowly state and all of those. But in his own case now, we want to know how he, as the man, has handled it for the last 14 years. Hello there.
Yeah.
Yes, we've...
Let me quickly jump into it.
Okay.
What I was saying in the last 14 years, it's my belief. I don't think I made a mistake marrying the woman that I married. Yes, it's a vulnerable situation to encourage yourself. I do spot checks of my life from time to time. I'm just trying to encourage any man that is out there, and I say, hey, look, year 1, year 2, year 3, before you're married, who are you? What have you achieved? Now, before my marriage, I almost think I was nobody. After my marriage, I think I'm a superhero. And I attribute that to God and the woman that is next to me. It's tough on the woman because even right now, I won't tell you that it's easy. It's not easy. It's a tough time. I mean, I even stopped telling her we go for weddings, but now imagine you're going for a wedding and maybe a year after the couple is celebrating their childbirth. I don't even tell her. That's how bad. I protect it. I just sneak out like a regular person. I feel I'm going somewhere and I go for it. Also, you know how many children who people have made.
Hello, are you there? I don't know why the network is acting up today. Maybe we should have had him on Zoom. Okay, we're going to try and call you back. My heart is already going out to you. You're such a very sensitive man there. It's a sensitive issue, and every woman in this space or going through this obviously will not, I don't know, that is, her life will just be centered around wanting a baby, and the way you're handling it is quite impressive. So when you go for weddings and you have to then go for a baby dedication or a child dedication of that couple, then you don't tell her. You're quite. I'm very impressed. I like the sound. I like the sound of that. I can't wait for you to conclude or tell us more about how you've handled it.
But
okay. Yes. Okay.
I would apologize to you, and I apologize to listeners. I'm going to try and make this.
I don't know. It's the network for some reason. Yeah. Maybe I should have had you on Zoom as well.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
So like I was saying, you need to, as a man, the way my house is, I'm perceived as a leader, as general. So I know my wife is watching me and watching my attitude. And once in a while, maybe marriage, wedding anniversaries, I say to her, babe, look, I love you. We're here for each other. You see this child? It will come. Sometimes in fact, she's currently, I call her Iyabiji. I mean, so for those of you who are not Yoruba, that's mother of twins.
Wow.
So, I speak it into her, and I know it will happen. Call me a dreamer. I don't care. It will happen. I tell her, look, it will happen. Just keep the faith. I know on her is a burden, but I keep moving. Yeah, forget it. There will be women out there. People will come with different things. My sister keeps saying something to me. She'll say to me, Koshewa. I'm not Yoruba, but Koshewa means she has not offended us. So it's only a child she has not given to us, and so happened. And that thing keeps ringing in my head.
My next question to you will be, you've spoken well, you've handled it so well, you've been very sensitive, you've been very caring, you've expressed, so much love and affection to your wife, even in the midst of the challenges for the last 14 years. So my question will be, are you saying that you've been this strong and perfect? Have you never considered taking another wife, or perhaps getting another woman pregnant as a baby mother? Did this ever cross your mind? I would love you to answer that question when we get you back on the call. Did you?
Fantastic question.
Okay.
Fantastic question.
Okay.
Yes, it crossed my mind severally. And, in fact, I'd even made attempts, about twice to say, okay, there's this girl who, this girl looks good, or, I think this is perfect. And naturally, my senior sister is my culprit, so she's my backup. So I'll say, sister, look, there's this girl somewhere, But, somehow God works some way. Everything is going smooth for you. Guys, I'm sure someone is connecting to me out here. Everything is going smooth for you, and you're thinking, okay, this is the one. Guess what? There will be something that person lacks. There will be something that you are seeing in your wife that is not this way. You're thinking,
that's it.
Hey, if I make this mistake and bring this one enter my house, and you say,
come and get into.
I don't die. Why? So why would I want to trust the angel and bring in the devil? It doesn't make sense to me. So I said to myself, 1, 2 attempts, and it's the same thing I'm saying. I say, I beg, God is just telling me, just stick to the one that you have and continue to wait.
So tell me more about those attempts. Were you in a relationship? Or was the attempt from afar?
No. So the attempts are from afar. Most times you find out people are trying to set you up. Family is telling you, one.
So go on, tell us about the attempts. Were they near or far?
No. So, family brings, one of them, family comes and says, hey, look, we know this family. She's from a good home. We've seen it all. But, like I said, it starts off as some sort of relationship. You are making calls, okay, let me even because for me, it's all about getting to know who you are. But getting to know who you are never really gets to anything, because at some point, even while you're trying to get to know who this person is, there's something that is not just, the click is not there. If I'm not having a conversation with you and I can't have a regular conversation with you, then I'm sorry, it won't happen. So that went off. Come on, it was all, let's just let it happen. I just want to be your baby mama, and then, your wife can be in the house. Don't worry. Trust me. I won't make any attempts to your home. Your wife won't know. Thinking, okay, this is all good. Okay, this is looking good. This is looking good. And guess what? It was looking good.
Our first guest who has been on the call is a man who is currently experiencing the challenge in his marriage, and he's been talking to us on how he's been handling it, encouraging 1-2 people out there that the solution is not to go out there to get another woman pregnant, or leave the angel that you have in your house and go after the devil herself. And he's talked about and emphasized that he's trusted God all this while, and he knows whatever you call him a mumu, call him a fool, call him an idiot, whatever you call him, he knows that definitely God is going to come through for him. I like his spirit, and I join my faith with him, and I say a very, very big amen to him. Unfortunately, the network will not allow us to enjoy the conversation with him. So I'm going to move to my next guest. I have a next guest. Thank you very much for my first guest who has been on the call. Thank you so much. I'm sure that I will reach out to you again some other time to continue this conversation at some point. So my next guest is a woman. So someone, they're not a couple, they're not married. So she's a woman who has been married for about 10 years. And so we've heard the conversation or the topic from the man's perspective. Now we want to talk to the woman about it. Let's hear our own views and experience on this. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
All right. So I don't know if you've been listening, but the topic is infertility rather in marriages, and the essence of having you talk about your experience is to encourage someone out there, a man and a woman. We had our first caller, our first guest was a man who has encouraged the listeners that the solution to this is not to go out there and get a baby mama or divorce your wife and, the angel that you have at home and take the devil in his words. So he believes that God and God alone will come through for them. They've been waiting and they will continue to wait on the Lord. They were together, they have been together for 14 years. So tell us about your experience on waiting. You're waiting on the Lord. You've been married for 10 years. So tell us about it.
Okay. I'm no longer waiting because God has given me a gift. However, I got married in 2011. So for 9 years, I've been waiting. The journey, wow. Waiting on the Lord is tedious. In fact, the last thing you want to hear is waiting on the Lord. At the time when I got married.
Yes, please, go ahead.
So, yes, you know what it is to get married after the 30. There's a lot of pressure to have children. You're being told that your biological clock is ticking, so you need to get married, get pregnant before you're 35. And at the time, I was about 33. So I wanted to just get pregnant, and it wasn't happening. And I remember I used to time sex. So it was always about, I'll make sure, got pregnant almost immediately. So there was that competitive spirit to say, okay, let's get, I need to get pregnant as well. And it didn't happen. So after a while, I became worried. In fact, after a year, I started putting pressure on my husband that we should see a doctor. And, the first time I remember when I went to see the doctor, I was diagnosed with secondary infertility. That particular day, my husband wasn't with me. And you know how women are, we're always going to look for help. I called my husband and I cried on the phone. Can you imagine? They told me that, they said secondary infertility, and it was really difficult to accept. So like I said before, no one goes into marriage thinking that they're going to wait. It's not something that you wish upon yourself, or you say it won't happen to me. Just like death, you say, this one won't happen in my family. But the reality of life, it was very difficult for me to accept. We attempted different things. So first of all, the doctor checks and says, "Oh, you don't have enough eggs, and you need to try. You are fertile." He told me that I was ovulating. He even checked me and said, "Oh, you're ovulating, but you don't have enough, so you need to keep trying. Go and meet with your husband." And nothing happened. Nothing happened. I would cry. I would be really sad. And to be quite honest, I heard when you spoke at the beginning, to be quite honest, I became depressed. Now, by nature, I'm very bubbly, social, but I went into that depression mode where I didn't want to see people. So I got engrossed in my work. At the time, my husband was always supportive. He would go with me to the hospital. And at some point, after a year and a half, we decided to try other means. We first tried the intrauterine insemination, the ones that they give you fertility drugs, and they would insert.
We tried the intrauterine insemination. That one was non-invasive. We tried that; it failed. I tried a second time; it failed. So at that particular point in time, I said, we need to try IVF. I don't know if you can hear me because of the echo.
Yes, it's very clear. Very clear. Go ahead, please.
Okay. All right. So after those 2 attempts, we decided that we talked about the IVF option, and because the doctor had encouraged that, but what we wanted to do was to find a good fertility clinic. So, but before that, we started attempting sex. Let's be more frequent in sex. But I think at some point it became like a duty, so it wasn't fun anymore. It was about getting pregnant. So it took the fun out of having sex with my spouse. And for him, I think it affected him as well. So it was almost like sex was... and the pressure. There are times that, I'm like, you have to come home early tonight because I'm seeing, so that pressure, what else happened? I mean, we started IVF. I first started in the particular year, I did 2 IVFs in a popular hospital in Lagos. It failed. In fact, the first time we were told, they said it will click the first time because there was no issue. All they needed was 1 sperm. Everything was okay, that would work. And the day I was supposed to get my test result, I was so surprised when I was told it was negative. I remember crying my eyes out. My husband consoled me and said we can go back again. And the cost for IVF, it's not cheap at all. This is a young couple. We just got married. And we said, okay, let's have a go at it. And what was most painful, the pressure, was the fact that our family knew when we did the IVF. So everyone knew, and they were waiting for the test results. So we did that 2 times. It failed, the IVF twice. We rested for a bit. My best friend got pregnant again. I remember when she told me that she was pregnant again, I started crying. Not to her, but I called my husband and I cried. And he was like, he was so confused. And for the man, I think, it puts a lot of pressure on him. So he didn't know how to react. But it was so overwhelming for him because I really cried my eyes out. I was happy for her, but I didn't understand why God would bless her and not bless me. We attempted, and I would say I did a total of 7 IVFs. I did 2 in the 2 United States. I also did in Abuja. I just went, all around to get help, and it just didn't work.
Wow.
And the pressure was so much, that sometimes I had a neighbor who came to me once and said, "Why don't you try?" I never talked to her about it, but you know how people offer you advice and they tell you, why don't you go and try and sleep with somebody else? And then maybe you would, sometimes you guys just don't click. And I remember hearing it from that lady, and I started avoiding her after that day because I didn't think, I think she had crossed the line because I never had a discussion with her. But I think, people start to calculate for you. People start to calculate, okay, you've been married for how many years? What is going on? In fact, immediately after a year, by the time you get to your second year, people start to wonder. But another thing that um helped me was the prophecies. I remember meeting a lady, a lady in my office, and we're not close. She told me, she called me and said, I hope you're not going to be upset about this. And this was probably 2 years into the marriage. She said, God said she should tell me, and that as long as the sun sets in the sky, I would have children. And because I come from a Christian home, my parents are pastors. I just took it. I took that word, But you see, when a prophecy comes, the expectation is that the prophecy will happen immediately. And I like what the guest speaker said, that for God, a day is for us, 1,000 years is a day to God. So sometimes when a prophecy comes, it's just to encourage you to wait, it gives you strength. But you know how it is, it's so difficult, because when you see everyone around you having babies, so I hated going for parties. I hated going. And then another thing that scared me was, because of the fertility treatment, I started putting on weight. I started working out again. But you know how it is, where people tell you, um that don't exercise, don't be excessive in your workouts, because that would affect you getting pregnant. I stupidly stopped working out, and I kept blowing up and blowing up. And so I didn't really have people to talk to. I avoided friends, because sometimes even the friends will make insensitive comments,
Okay.
insensitive comments, or they'll
So,
mock you.
okay.
And I had gone everywhere. I'd even gone to prayer houses that were not really Christians,
Right.
because I wanted to find a
It's
solution.
solutions.
And then, what really helped was when the last IVF I did, somebody sent me a recording, and for some reason I heard that recording, and I was really blessed by it. And I said, you know what? I'm going to trust God. I'm going to trust God. I'm not going to lean on my own understanding. I'm going to wait. Prophecies have come. It will surely come to pass. And I just started, I looked in the Bible, and I said, okay, the people that waited, there were people in the Bible that waited. They had a good relationship with God, but they still had to wait. And so because of that, I was determined in my mind that I won't let it get to me. But don't get me wrong, Mother's Day, I would be sad. I'll be sad, that when will my day come, and all.
Okay,
From
so let
3 years
me
turns to 5 years,
okay, so let me
five
now
years turns to nine
so
years.
9 years. So in the 9 years, were you I'm not sure what you were trying to tell me offline. Did you say that twice you had attempted to leave your marriage or something? I'm not sure if I heard well. What was it?
So, one of the things that happens in fertility sometimes, where the pressure is a lot, you know, um, it affects your sex life. So, like I said, there was so much pressure. And the men, if a man strays, you feel so bad, and you don't really have anyone to talk to. So I don't think I was communicating. I don't think we were communicating. But the thought of being with somebody else was in my head. And that was before, I had those thoughts to say, maybe I should be with somebody else. I didn't take that action, but it was those thoughts came into my head, until I got a scripture that told me that, do not think about being with somebody else. Don't think, I'm trying to remember the verse in the Bible where I saw it. And after that time, I just, remove that thought from my head. But basically, it's challenging. A lot of things, you will consider a lot of things. There were times that I would think, I wish I could just die. And
Wow.
for someone that believes in God, you know um it's not a good place to be, to think that I wish I could just go.
Wow.
But that
So
also taught me, that journey, or the journey when I was going through that, just taught me that I wasn't seeking God. I was seeking the things that God gives. So that's basically what I went through. I
so
hope that
did you
answers your question.
yes, so did you were you blamed? What was it like handling the family pressure and interference?
So to be honest, I don't think my husband's family were great, because um they had, one of his siblings had waited for some time as well. So they were supportive. Um, my own family as well, very supportive. I mean, I think the pressure was from myself because I just kept on thinking my biological clock is ticking. I've been told that I don't have enough eggs, and I need to do that before, I don't have any. So I think the pressure came more from my side. So I was blessed. I didn't have pressure from both sides, or I'm not aware of that, but I didn't have any pressure from both sides.
Oh, wow.
So
So thank you very much. I'm going to have to let you go, but I need parting words from you. I'm going to call my first caller back and get his parting words as well. I need parting words from you, words of encouragement to someone out there that is waiting. Yeah, coming from you will be more appreciated.
okay, so the parting words I would just tell anyone is be patient. Be patient. Just keep yourself busy. Um, Seek the Lord. I mean, He's the one that gives children. Every science will promise you that, like I said before, they'll promise you that it's going to be successful. There are no guarantees. The only guarantee that you have is God who gives children. So I would say be patient in your wait. Continue praying. Don't put yourself under pressure. Pressure that's the best thing I would say. Have a good support system, in terms of friends and family, and you'll be fine. He will surely answer.
Thank you so very much. Thank you. I appreciate all that. Appreciate what your contributions are. Thank you for your time tonight. It's been very encouraging and enlightening, at least for some of us that don't even know what goes on behind all the IVFs and all the trines and all of those. Thank you so much. City 1051 FM, your number one lifestyle station. You're tuned in to Talk to Me with Adedoja Allen. Now, to be part of the conversation, you can call us on 0700 105 1051. To our listeners, our topic tonight is infertility in marriage. Do you have something to add? Have you experienced it? Do you want to encourage someone with your testimony or your experience? Is infertility enough reason to leave your wife or husband? Is it enough reason to cheat on your spouse? Is it enough reason to hurt your spouse? Talk to me. Hello. Good evening. Welcome to the show.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, please go on. I can hear you well.
Hello?
Yes, go on. Tell me your name and where you're calling from. Okay, we lost you there. Please call back 0700 1051 1051. You can also send me a WhatsApp message on 0909 916 4403. Infertility in marriage. Is it enough to hurt your spouse? Is it enough to go as a man after another woman and have a baby mama? Or is it enough for a woman to leave her husband and say, I'm going to go after another man? Maybe we're not meant to be. Talk to me. Give us a call. 0700 1051 1051. I've had two callers on the show tonight. Okay, let me take this call. Hello, good evening.
Hello?
Hello, good evening. Welcome to City 1051 FM. Tell me your name and where you're calling from.
Good evening, ma.
Good evening.
Yeah, my name is Uchenna.
Okay, hi Uchenna.
I don't know if I'm on the radio live, but someone just called me now that I should call out what is going on now.
Say that again, please. Can you speak up? I'm struggling.
Someone called me now that I should call this number to air out what they are passing through right now. I think they are speaking about.
Please go ahead. We're talking about infertility in marriage.
Okay. I've been married since the past 7 years, and as God may do it,
After 7 years of marriage, my wife gave birth to twins, a boy and a girl.
Wow. After 7 years of marriage, of waiting on the Lord, your wife gave birth to twins, a boy and a girl. Congratulations. So what would you advise people that are waiting?
Why I even called was, so we are still here in the hospital because of the hospital bill which we are owing. So someone who actually volunteered to help us, I think is a rich man, saying before he could help us, I'm able to give out one of my babies. Then he will take the bill and give us extra money to go home. And this thing happened like a week ago, and I've been contemplating if to do it or I should not.
Contemplating what?
A rich man who wanted to help us
Okay.
because of the hospital bill, saying if I'm able to give out one of my babies, then he will fix the bill of about 164,000. Then give us some money, then we could go home.
Don't do that. Can you? It's okay. It's okay, Uchenna. Can you send a message to 0909 916 4403? It's a WhatsApp only line. Do you have WhatsApp?
I'm on WhatsApp.
Okay.
I'm using a small phone.
Okay, just send a hi to 0808.
You know, this thing might cut off. I don't know if I can give you my number.
Okay, all right, give me your number. Let me take your number.
Okay.
Go ahead.
My number is 090
090
94
94
288
288
372.
372. And your name is Uchenna.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we'll give you a call later to take this.
090
Yeah.
090
Yeah.
94
Mm-hmm.
288 288
Yes.
372.
All right, we'll give you a call. Thanks for your call. So that was a caller there who's been waiting on the Lord for 7 years, and his wife put to bed twins, a boy and a girl, and only for him to be in a dilemma. There's no money to pay the hospital bills. He approached a rich man who then said if he gives him one of the babies, he will pay the bill. How cruel. City 1051 FM, your number one lifestyle station. You're tuned in to Talk to Me with Adedoja Allen. Our topic tonight is infertility in marriage. Is it enough reason to leave your wife or husband? Is it enough reason to cheat on or hurt your spouse? Talk to me. Give us a call. 070010511051. We've had two callers, or rather, we've had two guest speakers. One man, we're going to call him so that we can get his parting words. The lines were really bad, so we couldn't get his parting words. So we would love to ask him to encourage someone out there. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening. Good evening. Can you tell me your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, I'm Sunday. I'm calling from Italia.
Go ahead, Samuel. Sunday or Samuel?
Sunday.
Okay, hi, Sunday. Okay.
Yeah, actually, I've been listening to your program.
Okay, yes, go ahead. Thank you. Go ahead.
I hope to continue. Just actually, I'm bachelor. I'm not yet married. But I had. Hello.
Yes, go ahead. I can hear you. Go ahead.
I heard how people pass through difficulties in marriage, in giving birth. Actually, I'm a Christian, and I believe in the Lord. And if people are there and I've been listening to them, they say that they're passing through one or two problems. I think if you give your life to Christ and you believe in the Lord, there is nothing so difficult for the Lord. Everything is easy for Him to do, easily for you. But the only thing that is important is for us to be prayerful. We have to be consistent in prayer. And
right. We lost the caller there. Ooh. All right, so we're going to have to wrap up the show in the next 4 minutes. Okay, let me take one last call. Hello?
Hello.
Yes. City 1051 FM. Tell me your name and where you're calling from, please.
From Infertility.
Okay, go ahead. Can you speak up, please?
Yes, I think I really enjoy your program, and just want to encourage people that are in that particular situation. Just today, a friend.
Are you there? Okay, thank you. It's called to encourage people that are going through such. How sweet. Thank you very much. So we're going to wrap up the show. But before we do wrap up, I'm going to go back to my first guest, the man, for his parting words. The woman gave us the parting words. We want him to give us his parting words. So the topic today is infertility in marriage. Is it enough to have a baby mama if you're the man? Is it enough? Okay. Hi. I wanted your parting words. The network wouldn't allow us to speak very well today, but thank you so much for all that you shared. So a parting word for people going through infertility in their marriage. Words of encouragement.
Just stick by yourself. You're 18. Yourself and your wife, you're 18. What brought you together, hold strong to it. And please, keep the faith. Bringing in God, because someone out there will say, oh yeah, this is it. But the truth about it is, yourself and your wife or your spouse, you're 18. Hang on to it. I mean, I heard the other speaker, you can see they encourage each other. So encourage each other as much as you can. If you're the man, encourage your wife as much as possible. Trust me, she's going through hell. And if you're the woman and you see that the husband is the one that is not so strong, encourage him to. Together, you guys will pull through. 10 years, 20 years is no time for God. Keep the faith. That's what I can say. Keep the faith. I'm keeping the faith, and I believe it's going to happen. And I'm going to come back to this show.
Amen. 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 I join my faith and I so believe with you. Thank you so very much. Thank you very much for your contribution and your encouragement. City 1051 FM, your number one lifestyle station. You're tuned in to Talk to Me with Adedoja Allen. Our topic of discussion today has been infertility in marriage. We had two guests, a man and a woman who share their experiences with us and encouraged us. The crux of it, or the pillar of their strength, has been on God and God alone, and also they work together as a team, encouraging one another. So you may or may not have children one day, but you won't be struggling to conceive forever. Remember, your relationship can survive this tough but temporary challenge. Although trying to conceive can create conflict and tension, we know that. But it can also bring couples together. There's always the positive side. With God, time, counseling, your years of trying to conceive can bring you closer together as a couple. Eventually, you'll either have a child or stop trying to conceive. But please do not forget that there is life after infertility. I understand that it's a lot to take in, but hold on unto that hope. Remember, you might have to fight a battle more than once to win it, but with God, all things are possible. See you next week. This show makes a return next week, Thursday, 8:30 p.m. You can reach out to me on social media at Doja Allen on Twitter and Instagram. Don't touch that dial. Keep it locked down for more music. Thank you. Good night.
Talk to Me with Adedoja Allen.
Remember, in the multitude of counsel, there is safety.